So, what is heart coherence? Okay, so you will see this on my page, on my post. I will sporadically throw out coherence. So if you think about how when you're stressed, when cortisol is released in your body because you're feeling stressed, anxiety, frustration, whatever that is, just everyday emotions, that cortisol release then can lead to kind of that yucky feeling, whether it's like tense shoulders, your heart's racing. Everybody carries their stress in different ways. The opposite of that, so we want to learn, how do I shift through or manage my stress? How do I kind of keep it under control? The opposite state of being, so someone could be in a really stressed state of being. Someone can kind of be like in a neutral, so-so state. Or we can shift to this state of coherence. And so that's specifically talking at the heart level. So when I use heart math biofeedback, which is giving me information on someone's heart rate variability, it's telling me how much stress response they have versus the opposite of stress response, which is a state of coherence. This state of coherence, this state of heart coherence, is when your heart rate variability becomes more synchronized and rhythmical. And that's because your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system are working in balance. They are kind of working as they should, in alignment, in harmony. So that's why that heart rate variability becomes nice, synchronized, rhythmical, predictable. And what we know is that the heart's electromagnetic field is so powerful that when the heart gets pulled into coherence, that means lower cortisol levels, higher levels of DHEA hormone, you're going to feel better, and it can actually help pull other bodily systems into this state of coherence. So it can help respiration rate, blood pressure, digestion rate. It can help pull all of these other things into this state of coherence, and that's a good thing. That means that our body is just more relaxed, balanced, and not in that highly fight or flight mode. So we want to teach our bodies, how do we come back to this state of coherence? So I want to be really clear. The goal of human life is not to be coherent all the time. Like, that's not possible. Life does happen. Things do get thrown at you. You will have irritations and stuff happen. So you're going to be at times, your body out of survival mechanism is going to flip into a stress state. The goal is to know how to recognize when you're in a stress state. How do I shift, work through, and move through that so that you can get back to a state of balance, back to a state of coherence. So the more you can practice how to become back to your balance, how to become back to coherent state, the better. Also, research supports that if you just consciously practice going into a state of coherence where you feel this joy or this peace or this happy. So that's where resilience comes in. The more often you practice the skill of coherence, what that does is it helps you so that when stressors do get thrown your way, your body can respond better. So your body might kick up a stress response. So someone, let's say, like cuts you off in traffic, and your body has this stress response, like, oh my gosh, okay, is everybody okay? I'm stressed. Holy cow, that was a lot, right? So you have that automatic response. But if you're someone who practices getting into balance, practices calming your nervous system, practices getting into this state of coherence, what it just means is that after something like that happens, you can work through that, and you're like, okay, that really wigged me out, but I'm good. All right, I'm good. I can keep driving now. That doesn't completely ruin my day because I can shift my nervous system back into this state of coherence. Whereas if you don't have a regular practice, or if you don't know how to do that, something like, getting cut off in traffic can ruin your whole day because it sets off your stress response and you have no idea how to get back. So now all day you're complaining to everybody, oh my God, this guy cut me off and I was so mad and blah, blah, blah. And every time you retell this story, or you're even maybe just playing it in your head, you continue to just kick up your stress response and you think that it's helpful, but it's not. It's not helpful. But that's an example of what can happen when you don't have a way to get back to balanced. You can get stuck in a stress response. And then before you know it, that chronic stress leads to a lot of other difficulties. So, coherence. The opposite of a stress state. It's the state that we want to practice shifting back into. If you want to learn more, tap the link below, head to the website, send me a message.